Oh hey, what's up my man? So after that last video where I reviewed the Citizen EcoDrive Weekender Garrison Field Watch with the green strap, and make sure to go check that video out if you haven't already, I've been getting a number of direct messages asking me to review another watch, the Casio V005. So that's what I'm going to give you today. Alright, now I'm going to give a quick background on how I got this watch and my experience so far with it before I go into the pros and cons of the watch. So I bought this watch new from Amazon for about $33 in March of 2024, and I'm making this review in late September of 2024, so that makes this about a 7-month review. I have not worn this watch every day in that 7 months. I've maybe worn it 1 out of every 6 days, so I would be pretty close to a solid month of runtime on this watch, so keep that in mind. Alright, so let's talk about pros, and first I want to talk about the quality versus the price. And given the price of $33 to get this watch new, there's really not much bad you can say about the level of quality in both the band and the watch itself. You get the stainless steel construction. You have no wonky looking shapes, no wonky geometry. Second hands line up with the ticks on the watch face, which I don't even see very often in many more expensive watch brands. So that's pretty impressive out of Casio in this price range. So for the price, really nothing negative to say about any of the quality of the watch. I also want to touch on comfort because I'm really impressed by the comfort of this watch for a few reasons. Now, first, it's a low profile watch, so it's relatively lightweight and comfortable to wear. And that's something you don't often see at this price point. A lot of manufacturers, designers will use dense materials, and they'll have maybe chunky, wonky looking watch faces, but this guy, not the case. It's nice and low profile. It looks clean. The dimensions look sensible. It's not a funky or wonky looking watch. It actually looks pretty good if this is the style that you're going after. And I also want to talk about the band itself in terms of comfort. If you watched my Citizen EcoDrive Weekender review, and feel free to go back and watch that if you haven't, you'll know that I complained about the resolution of the holes on the watch band itself. I complained that the holes are too far apart, so I found that when putting the watch on my wrist, it just so happened that the watch was either always going to be too loose or too tight, and I do not have that problem with the Casio. You can see the holes are much closer, maybe even almost twice as close on the Casio compared to the Citizen, and the Casio is about a quarter or a fifth of the price. So very impressed with the watch band on the Casio compared to the Citizen. And it's also a comfortable watch band. It's smooth to the touch. It hasn't worn down in the month that I've used it. You can see some signs of wear on the holes that I've used, but nothing major, and I expect it to continue to run fine for many months, many years to come. So all good in comfort on the Casio. Very impressed. All right, now I've touched on comfort, I've touched on the good band, and finally in the pros category, I want to touch on styling with a question mark. And this is really going to depend on what you're looking for in a dress watch. And if you're looking for a low profile, polished stainless, low price, affordable dress watch with a fake leather brown strap, I think you might like this one. It might be considered dated. It does look like something that you probably wouldn't see on a whole lot of young men, but I think it's a clean looking watch, and it's fitting for a maybe business casual, more business attire. I think it would look out of place with some business casual looks, or especially some casual looks, but I think with the right outfits, this could look good. This could definitely fit certain outfits. Alright guys, now let's wrap this video up by talking about the cons. And you'll notice that in the cons, I've put first loud with, that's actually 2 underlines, so that's a big time, big deal, big con that I would not have even thought about, or I didn't even think about. until after I had bought this watch. This thing is extremely loud. It's preposterously loud. You may or may not care about this, but I do. And when I'm sitting in the office, I can actually hear this thing ticking on my hand. If you don't work in a quiet office, or if you don't work at home in silence or in a quiet environment, you may not care about this, but this is an extremely loud watch compared to every other watch that I own in my collection. I can hear it on my wrist while I'm doing work. It's profound. And not to beat a dead horse here, but to speak to just how loud this thing is, if I put my Citizen EcoDrive Weekender field watch to my ear like a stethoscope, I can't even hear the action that happens inside the watch itself. Very well insulated, good quality watch. You can't hear it. Now the Casio, on the other hand, like I said, if I'm sitting at my desk and I'm not typing, I'm just sitting there and no one's talking around me, I can hear this thing tick, which can be very annoying. It's profound. Alright, now second I wanted to touch on the fact that this thing is battery powered, which should come as no surprise given that this is a $33 watch. You really can't expect a good solar powered system at that price range, like the Citizen EcoDrive. So you have to keep in mind that you will have to change out batteries, and this is especially worth noting because this is a snapback case. It does not screw on, so you can't screw the back on and off to change the battery. You actually need to pop the back off with a tool or a screwdriver. Ideally use a tool. And then you need to use a watch press, or you should use a watch press to get the back on. Now, I did an unboxing and I actually showed how you perform this process, so feel free to go look at that video if you want. But in general, the point here is it's just a little more of a hassle, and it's a little lower quality of a system compared to watches where you can screw on and screw off the back when changing the battery. It's a little less robust. And finally, going hand in hand with the other styling question mark, I've included styling question mark as a potential con of this watch. Now, this may or may not be your flavor of watch. I like that it's low profile. I don't see a whole lot of reason that anyone would want to complain about that. But I could see some people saying that this looks like an old-timer watch. It might look a little dated. There might be some truth to that. I think it looks fine with certain dress attire. Again, does not look great with the casual side of business casual, and you do need to be a little mindful about what you wear it with so that you don't look too much like a boomer. No offense to my boomer audience, but that's just the way it is with this watch. Oh, hey, what's up, my man? So yeah, that's all I've got for this review. In general, I think it's a pretty good timepiece, definitely worth the money in my opinion. If you've got $30 that you're looking to burn on a decent looking dress watch that's going to last the test of time, I think this is a great option. Do keep in mind though, the one big negative that I found with this watch, if you don't want a noise complaint from your neighbors, you might want to look elsewhere for a watch. But other than that, I think it's a very good option. So thanks for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.